All right. So I think that we're good. I'm not sure if I'm going to have the iPad screen up or not, but I just kind of was messing around with AI and had an interesting interaction. So I was like, I'll go ahead and make a video about that because it's something that I think I'm going to use in the future. So basically what I did was I just took a book and then, the PDF and uploaded that to AI. And essentially what my initial goal was to build some sort of framework based on the information that was in the book. And then I was going to try to apply that framework in a way that would kind of benefit my life experience. So I uploaded this book and then I was like, hey, let's go ahead and build a framework. And it wasn't seeming to provide me with a framework that I felt was aligned with myself. So I was like, okay, this is not working very well. Then I was like, let's go ahead and ask the AI to quiz me, like make a quiz for me, and then I'll answer the questions to this quiz, and then based on my responses, then that's going to give the AI an idea of like where I'm at compared to where the book could kind of get me. And then from that point, make some recommendations. And so it was interesting because this is kind of what I said to it. I was like, I appreciate the efforts, but it seems like I'm going to actually need to develop the framework myself. But yeah, so anyways, then at that point, it was where I had it make this quiz, and it was great. So essentially, I wound up answering the questions to the quiz that it made for me, and then based on that, it essentially was saying, hey, the goal of this book is actually something you're already familiar with, but you're just struggling implementing that realization after you've realized it. So it was super weird because I was like, okay, that does make sense. When you're reading a book and you're like, yeah. And so the AI was basically like, hey, man, you already got that part, but now you need to work on some other stuff. So I was like, sweet, that's awesome. Thank you. As far as like, that makes sense. Now I can like, in a way, it kind of gave me, it just let me see something that I wasn't able to see. It was like I was blocking myself from seeing that for some reason. So the AI was able to kind of be a mirror for myself. And so that's what this video is just kind of like. So if you have like an interesting book or something that's interesting to you or that you're trying to achieve. And one of the things is that I did was I was like, okay, like it wasn't able to build a framework for me necessarily. So I was like, okay, let's go ahead and build a framework for like an Olympic athlete. What would that look like? And then, okay, so now I see what that would look like, and that makes sense. Let's take the structure of that and apply it to something else. So that flow kind of helped. I know I'm not giving too much information as far as direct results here, because just as I had gone through this process, it's like whatever I'm doing exactly wouldn't be really for anyone else, but it's like the concept of it. So relating to the concept of this and then implementing that to yourself or applying that to yourself in some way it just was really cool because it's something that wasn't really capable a while ago. And this is an aspect of the AI where I feel like it's kind of beneficial, you know? I'm able to really see into some interesting stuff, and then you just have to be able to discern, like, if it's maybe hallucinating stuff. So it's kind of a can of worms at the same time. But anyways, I just figured I'd do a quick video that it was interesting to interact with the AI in a quizzing format based on material, and then getting an assessment of myself from the AI based on that interaction, and then me reflecting on that assessment and just kind of being like, okay, you know, and you can, you know, maybe you'll know, doesn't seem like it got it. Or maybe if it doesn't seem like it got it, maybe you're not getting what it's trying to tell you or like trying to show you about yourself. It's a really fascinating thing because sometimes, for example, I will say, for example, one thing that I had here is, here we go. A core tension of mine is, it says, my answers reveal a pattern of fear-driven decisions, societal obligations, unfulfilling work versus freedom in nature, intuitive knowing, my own way, and that I know what's mine versus what's imposed, but I feel compelled to appease everyone else. It said, well, it says I feel compelled to handle the societal layer first. So that's a pretty raw thing for me to read, and just, it's like, you know, if I look at this truthfully, there is a lot of truth here, and to understand what that means is the philosophical aspect. It's like, it's interesting. It's almost one of those things, like in philosophy, it's like, what would happen to a philosopher if they like figured it out, whatever they were trying to figure out? It's like, it'd just be like, you know? So that's kind of one of those things where the journey is not just about the destination, you know, it's part about the journey. So having, you know, not stressing about it, but like being able to have some fun and trying to improve yourself. It's just, you know, what else are we here for, man? You know, try to make ourselves better, try to make the world better, and you know, don't let it get worse necessarily. Which is by don't letting yourself get worse. You know, paying attention to yourself is like, at least you can do that. At least I can do that, and it helps my experience day to day. And then anything on top of that, it's like, okay, well, let's friggin' dive into this. This is pretty interesting stuff. Anyways, I'm rambling now, but as I'm rambling, I might as well just throw out, because it was saying, it was like, your answer about impulses that both make sense and don't make sense suggests you already know something crucial here. Like, that's what it ended on. And then it said, usage limit reached. Your limit will reset at 8. And that was at like 5. And I'm like, man, I already paid for the pro version. But then they said they got to do the max, because I was using the... And it definitely does depend on the model. Like, it does have to be usually, well, I suppose it depends on your level, you know. But a better model definitely will help. And finding an alignment, you know, you can ask it to kind of align with you before you get started. Or not, and just dive in and then figure it out. But I'm really curious to see what this thing is gonna say. What it thinks that I already know. That's crucial. I have no idea. Man, super curious.